reason I don't like running 99 because of this mess. 3:30 in the afternoon, and look at this backup. This is why I like running the back roads back up to where I live. I got stuck having to go into Stockton, and this is what I got stuck with. And right now they got us bottlenecking down from 2 lanes to 1. 99 is almost, well, I'm going over top of 99 right now. It's moving good. But this transition road's a mess. So I will figure out a way to get over to Comstock up to Clements. At least they're allowing people to zipper merge. That's helping. All right. So. And northbound 99's backing up now. It was open going over top of it. But not now. Definitely getting off at Waterloo. Heading east. Northeast. Oh yeah, lovely Highway 99 northbound. Man, even Fremont Street's backed up. Look at over the bridge. Got the meters going on the on-ramps. I love that sign. I still think about it and laugh. If you don't want people drag racing, don't put Christmas trees on on-ramps. And I'd say about 90% of the people out there, that goes right over their head. You know? Half mile. Rubicon over there. Alright, here we are. I'm on Ladd Road coming out of Modesto. I don't want to take 99 home because it's nothing but traffic. So I'm running back roads here, and you'll see how it goes here because I know some of these back roads. This Ladd Road will take me into Escalon, and then I'll hop over top the one little bridge, then double back onto some of the back roads there. And yeah, it's a little longer, but it's a lot less traffic, a lot less frustration. And I absolutely hate 99 between Modesto and basically going into South Lodi. It's just too damn much traffic, too many idiots. So I prefer running these back roads. And we'll see how it goes. off the radio. Forgot I had that radio on. Don't want to get dinged if I decide to post this. The only drawback is having to go all the way up to Escalon from here because we've got the Stanislaus River, which unfortunately there aren't too many spots to be able to cross over. Otherwise it'd be a straight shot for me. See, I think I've run into this backcountry now. I don't know if I'm going to go through Farmington or not this way. I don't remember. But you can see that I'm in orchards. Got, I don't know, I think they're walnuts off to my left, and then power transfer station here. But it's all farmland out here, and if we go through Farmington, I'll point it out because a movie they made back in the 70s with Peter Fonda, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, or the other way around, I don't remember. I always get those reversed. But they made it back in this area, back in these walnut orchards. That was kind of a cult classic. And it was all made back in this area. And Farmington, if I go through Farmington, you'll recognize the intersection if you know the movie. So one little building has changed. That's it over the last 30, 40 years, 50 years almost probably. But a lot of movies have been made back in here if you want to get the farm look. Olives over there to the left. Younger walnut trees here. Hey Henry, you gonna stay and hold for me? Yep. Barely held. Henry Road here. This takes you into Escalon, but I'm taking it just long enough to get over the water. A lot more traffic on this one than there are on all those other roads. All I want to do is get on the other side of the river. Field corn. Way too close together to be sweet corn. That's all field corn. Feed the livestock. And that looks like cherries. That crop's already been harvested, and they got whacked because of the rain again. Hit a long time. See, the only drawback out here is they do a lot of very vulnerable crops out here. The cherries are vulnerable as hell to wind and rain. And walnuts, you can get a real good walnut crop, and then you get a real hot summer and it cooks the walnuts in their shells. And that's happened. I myself, if I were to own land out here, I'd probably do navel oranges because they are young in the heat. And as long as they get rain when they need it, if you get a little bit of a dry season, those navel oranges just get sweeter. All right, here we go. Up over top the Stanislaus River right now. And I'm going to go left again down this side road. East River. Got a Tesla out in front of me. You couldn't give me one of those things. I'm sorry, I'm a gasoline forever kind of guy. I don't deny the instant torque off an electric motor. I mean, I'd love to be able to have that kind of torque off an engine, but not the way it works. And I don't trust those lithium batteries in those cars. They're just too vulnerable to damage and bursting into flame, and water won't put that fire out. And they don't have the range. I've always told them, I said, if you can give me an electric car that gives me a minimum of a 350 mile range, and then when I pull it in to be charged, I can charge it up in 15 minutes to a full charge. That's the way gasoline works. That's the way I want my batteries to work. I'd love to do a challenge. I used to have family that lived in Colorado. They don't anymore. So I'd love to tell them, okay, here's the rule. Stockton, California to Florissant, Colorado. You got 36 hours to do it, and I could do it in 24, except that I'm not going to drive 24 hours straight. If I had a healthy co-driver, you could do it in under 24 with a co-driver. But you go out there, you give me a 12-hour run, then you take 12 hours off to sleep, and then another 12-hour run to get into Colorado. And see if you can do that with anything but a gasoline-driven vehicle. I'll give you $1,000 to make it. Can you do it? Okay. Any way you can do it. You got 36 hours to get there, but you only got $1,000 for a family of 4. What's the most efficient way to do that, and the most economical way? And I'll guarantee you it's a gasoline-driven vehicle. In my case, I would take Highway 50 across. Head over the top on 88. Oh shit, I think I just screwed up. Ah, damn. But Highway 88. Over the top into Carson City, and then Highway 50 east. All the way through the rest of Nevada, through Utah. Until I cut I-15 down a little bit to Provo, and then cut across on, I think it's US Highway 9 or 6 or 9. And then tie into I-70, and I-70 up to Highway, I think it's 24 in Florissant. This is the one I want, Van Allen Road. I didn't miss it. All right. 55 mile an hour. And this is why I run these back roads. Yeah, it's probably a little longer, but the frustration level's a lot less. Oh man, they are really pumping some water through there. And that thing was flowing at about 500 CFS. Another one. Yeah, it's 94 degrees out here right now, and humidity of about 31%. Not ridiculously high humidity, but enough. But all the the crops. A lot of people don't realize it, man. You are looking at the fruit and vegetable supplier to most of the nation. And they don't get it, but they also, you got a bunch of San Francisco born idiots that are running this state, and they have no clue where their food comes from, how it gets there, or anything else. Newsom needs to take a long walk off a short pier. I'm sorry. And the Volta. I'm not voting for any of those idiots. I did a strategic vote and voted for Hilton. I would much rather have voted for Chad Bianco, but I knew he didn't have a chance to get into the runoff where Hilton stood a good chance. So I voted for Hilton. We got to break the back of the Democrats in this state big time. They just, except before I'll say it again, you take a look at the way the votes went in this state. And the coastal communities, with a couple of minor exceptions, all voted blue. And up here east of basically I-5, every county voted red, with the exception of Placer County, I think, and was shocked the hell out of me, Alpine County. They all voted red. Yet, because of the population, we've got those 13 coastal counties, plus a couple of others, that are controlling this state. And they haven't got a freaking clue how the rest of the state works. You know, I haven't posted it yet. I did a video. I went up Panther Creek Road, which is off Highway 88, and it runs down towards the Equality River. And running down Panther, you're seeing all of these huge stacks of deadfall that they pulled out of the forest to help control the fires and stuff in there. Now that is U.S. Forest Service land. Okay, and they were up there, and I'm talking about multiple individual piles that were as big as my damn house of all deadfall. And I don't know what they're going to do with it. They got it stacked if they ran out. And guess what? The equipment they used basically were forest rakes. Big, heavy equipment that rakes the forest. Guess what? Trump wasn't stupid. It's literally what they did, was use equipment that was the equivalent to raking the forest to get all that deadfall out of there, get all that fuel load out of there. The other thing you do, I've done it. I live up in the foothills and stuff, and fuck you environmentalists. We get in there and we cut the weeds back late spring while they're still green, cut them way back to at least no longer than about 4 inches. Out in the ranches and stuff out there, they run the cattle and they crop the grass way short. The only place we have long grass up in my area is along the edges of the road, where the county's responsible for taking care of that. But other than that, we got short grass, and I actually have fire insurance. I'm insured through Hartford. Hartford didn't go by the reports. They went in there. They actually took a look at our area and said, the grass is short. You got a lot of roads running around through there, which are natural fire breaks. You got fire insurance, and we're not going to stick it to you. And I'm not living down here in the lowlands where we have a flood possibility. That's going to be a major... If this El Nino builds the way it's building, and if it makes it this far north, oh man, are we going to go for a swim. But I live up in the hills, and I'm not worried about it, and I'm sitting on bedrock. So I'm not going to have the problems that the coasts have with the mountainside sliding. You build on shale, it's going to slide. And that's what the entire coastal range is shale. Anybody who builds on the coastal ranges, on the coast, is stupid. You don't build on those cliff sides, because a slide is a given. It will happen. California is what they call a receding coastline, other than the extreme southern end, where the ocean is removing material, not adding. And we got a very, very short continental shelf on the Pacific coast. That continental shelf doesn't extend out very far before you hit very deep water. Oh, got a train coming through. All right, take it easy. I don't know if this is going to be a long freighter or if it's going to be a shorty. Just slow it down, take it easy. But California's a receding coastline, and again, the East Coasters don't understand that. They've got a massively long continental shelf out there. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3 freight engines there, and it's... You messed up your pattern, guy. Too long's a short and long. Morse code for the letter Q, baby. Make way for the queen of the rails. That's all cars. That's all cars. Who the hell's paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for cars today? I can't afford it. If I ever have to replace this truck, I'm going pre-OBD1 even. Get myself a 3/4 ton Ford with a 460 in it. 6-speed manual transmission. Just update the suspension on it and be done. Not a bunch of computerized bullshit. I don't need a computer telling me how to drive a car or a truck or whatever. Oh, we got one coming the other way too. Oh shit, yeah, we got that yard down there. This is long enough, I'll bet you there may be a couple mid-train, and there may be you can almost guarantee you there's going to be a pusher on this thing. No pusher. Okay. I'm surprised. They've been running empty. Old bus driving thing. I don't run those until those lights turn off. I drove a public transit bus for 25 years. You didn't move until those lights quit flashing. That was a bit of a delay. No biggie. Hey, look at this guy. Wide open road out in front of me. Nothing. Road closed ahead. That's got to be the side road. Yep. Working on that side road. So anyway, I'll never post this, but I'm talking a lot. I'd love to get David Freiberger up in here, let him see this area, and I'd love to get him to the Iowa Chinese restaurant. I think he'd love it. Get him to try the honey glazed shrimp, walnut honey glazed shrimp. Oh, they make good. Little Holt, ooh, God, that bee was loaded with blood. Not bee, but a skeeter. It just high enough that the water ain't making it. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, whatever that was, it was a bloodsucker, and man, it left a big blood spot in my window. Mariposa Road. So if I were to turn left, I just ran out of. Turn indicator would have been nice, guy. But across Mariposa. If I were to turn left there, it would have taken me into Stockton. close together. That's got to be field corn. Yeah, considering all the cattle in that area. Oh boy, that white car is moving coming up behind me. I'm doing 63, 64. He's closing on me. Sides. The weather isn't as hot as it has been. I mean, we're at the end of July and we've only seen about 2 or 3 days in the triples. 95 degrees out there right now, which is hot but not ridiculously hot. Several years ago, I can remember, man, it was Stockton. I was driving a public transit bus in Stockton, and we were hitting 117 degrees during the day. And at midnight, it was still 111. It just never cooled off. And we went like that for well over a month, where we were in triple digits. That was a miserable year. Last I heard, they got an El Nino building out there, a strong one. And it just depends on how the trade winds blow. We could be dry as a bone up at this end, or we could go for a swim. It just depends. La Nina years are the same way. We're right on that break point. And the mid-1950s, flooding in Stockton was a La Nina year. And I remember first year I came up to this end of the state. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. First year I came up to this state was in 1985. And we got some rain in November. I was a field salesman for a plumbing wholesaler. That's the reason I came up here and changed jobs, because the field salesman work just didn't work. Didn't fit me. But anyway, we got a little bit of rain back in October, November, and then in December we got a crazy inversion layer, and it got foggy, and the entire month of December was heavy fog. You couldn't see 15 feet at night out there. The temperature never got above 39 degrees in the Central Valley. And fog, oh Lord, and I was driving in that, trying to sell. It's just crazy. SR4. This is State Route 4, aka Copperopolis Road. This road actually goes all the way through Ebbets Pass. And dead ends at Highway 88. Near the other side of Markleyville. I can't think of the Wolford Heights, I believe it is, or something. But it goes all the way through Ebbets Pass. You get a little over 9,000 feet. I may have turned the wrong damn direction. I don't know. So, I'm in no rush. I know if I screwed up, I know how to go across anyway. Farmington, right there. Okay, I know where I'm at. I I'll be making a left-hand turn up here. With the exception of the gas station, if you look at this real closely, and if you're familiar with that Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry movie, you'll recognize this intersection I'm coming up on. Take a look at the building on my right there, that big white building there. That familiar? This gas station new, the Chevron station new, but every other building was here at this intersection was made. That building off to the left. I said, if you know the movie, you know this intersection. And again, that was Vic Morrow playing the sheriff up in the helicopter. It was before he lost his life in that Twilight Zone movie. But yeah, they did all the filming back in this area, these orchards back in this area of that movie. All the chase scenes and all that other stuff. Sense of direction worked out. I made it to Farmington. So that was Highway 4. That sign up. And they're letting that land go fallow. Nothing out there. One very scattered animal. And some horses out here. One thing I have noticed is a lot of the farms out here are ripping the grapes out. The wine market has gone very, very soft, and they're just getting rid of the grapevines. But they're letting that land go fallow over there on the left. I wonder what's going on. Oh, got some cattle way out there. So they're running cattle out here. But yeah, probably got about 50 head of cattle out there way out. But anyway, wide open country. Layer off to my left over the coastal mountains, and we got thunderheads building over top the Sierra again. Looks like they might get some pretty good rain on that eastern slope tonight. Like today and tonight. So, anyway. Copperopolis Road. This is East Main in Stockton. That runs all the way out there and rejoins. Yeah, San Diego. He does a lot of these California trips and stuff, and he points out he loves the old towns, old gas stations, the old signs and that kind of stuff. Which there isn't much of it out here on that end of it. But I'd love to just get him to run all the Sierra Pass roads with me. Take that Jeep of his and come up out of Red Lake and Forestdale Road up to the Escalon Road. Here is what we're on. problem with going up in that area. Up to the Blue Lakes. So I don't know if he's ever really been back in the backcountry. I mean, seriously backcountry. Look out! Ooh. That was Volt. Yeah, they got some grapes. Somebody's running grapes still. More likely than not, those are Zinfandels. They don't really do table grapes at this end. Table grapes are further south, down around Fresno. Levee here. Off to the left, there's a Calaveras River. It's a flood control levee on the left. That's out the way they're talking about it. That levee will get a workout. I was driving a bus. There was a Spanos Park west up there, north end of Stockton. And the guys built out there east of Interstate, or west of Interstate 5, excuse me, west of it. That's all floodplain. Built houses out there, and they got it all levied. And I talked to my passengers that lived up there. I said, take a look at those levees around your house. See how those levees are as high as the eaves of the roof on your house? Get a clue! That levee lets go, your house is going underwater. You don't get it. No, we're flood safe. No, you're not. Fine road. About this one. I got 3 hard turns up in here, 15-mile-an-hour turns. Then I go down a little ways, and then I catch Clements Road, and then I got 11 miles of no stops. I catch Highway 88. Got 3 15-mile-an-hour curves here to deal with. Some of these, oh man, that was a big oak. One thing I've noticed is a few trees back in here that are massive oaks or massive walnuts. And a lot of them, like that one there and stuff, a lot of them have got walnut burls on them that are huge. Old black walnut. These were planted when they still used black walnut as for the trunk, and this grafted English walnut into it because the black walnut was more nematode resistant. But they've got burls on them, and those burls are worth probably $10,000 a piece because of that black walnut wood. These younger ones are all English walnut. They don't really do the black walnut stuff anymore with them. They've got some other varieties, but man, some of these older trees, you look at them in here. Black walnut stumps with English walnut branches on them. And those stumps are worth a small fortune. Those are old walnuts. One on the left right here. Good example. Wow. That's a good one right there. Needs to be. Wow. Never seen that before. A bunch of dump trucks and they're loaded with huge boulders. Look at what they're doing. This is Clements Road, 11 miles, no stop signs. Springs. Getting in here. I don't know what kind of horse they train here, whether it's quarter horses or thoroughbreds, but they've got a track here for horse racing. I think it's on the left there. I think it's a training facility. I haven't really looked into it that much. There's enough housing in here and stuff that You just don't push through here. Not so much the kids, but it's dogs and it's driveways and everything else. So you don't push through this stretch. And that road up in front of you, see that cars coming through, that's Highway 88. 8812 for this stretch. And as you can see, it carries a lot more traffic. Unfortunately, you gotta screw with it. Gotta mess with it for about 3 miles. And we had one slow guy that punched them all, got them all bunched up. One guy who refuses to flow and then bunches it up. Intersection we're coming up on. If you were to go straight ahead, that's Highway 12, takes you into Valley Springs. I'm going left, and that takes you up towards Jackson. A little side turn there takes you into Ione. And about 2/3 to 3/4 of the traffic turns here onto 88. Left turn 88 straight through Highway 12. Come on, guys, wake up. Hill coming to the Highway 88 Liberty Road circle. I don't know what I think of those damn circles. I hate them. But then again, Liberty was notorious for T-bone accidents. I don't know how much they've eliminated the T-bones. I know they still have wrecks here, but it's fender bender type stuff rather than major. So, hey, maybe. I'll give it to him. Okay, let's see where the Chevron station's at. This is one I was talking about. And straighten out the chicane a little bit. And they're down a little. 539, 549. And now I'm heading down Liberty. Car followed me. Get away from me a little bit there. No big deal. This is where you come up out of the Central Valley and you start to climb into the foothills. Get real high. The place I own is up on top of a hill there, and I'm just not quite 400 feet above sea level. We ever had the Arctic ice cap melt, Antarctic ice cap and Greenland ice cap ever really fully melts. They say the sea will come up 300 feet, so I'll wind up with beachfront property. Secondary dam right here off to the right. I don't know if it showed up or not. That's Comanche Lake off to my right, and we just about ready to cross over from San Joaquin County into Amador County. I don't know if I made the crossover yet or not. I don't think so. If we did, I missed it. There it is. Okay, San Joaquin County right here. And you can see the difference in the road. Now Amador County, and it's no longer Liberty Road, now it's Comanche Parkway. Another secondary dam for Comanche Lake there. And this will give you your first view of the lake. Off to the right. They're finally putting some boats out there. Not very many have gone out there, but they're allowing boats back on that lake. I guess they gave up trying to control the zebra mussels that got in there. Just no controlling it unless you drain that lake to nothing, zero. And Oakland would have a shit fit. That's their water supply. East Bay mud. First of the tight turns in here now. I don't know if it's showing up very well with this phone camera, but that's Comanche Lake out there. Problem you got is that's a relatively shallow lake with a big surface area. So you lose a lot of water to evaporation. That lake's got about as much surface area as New Malone's. Difference is that lake's maybe 150, 200 feet deep, where New Malone's is 800 feet deep. This here is, what is it? I think close to 1 million acre feet of water, where New Malone's is damn near 3 million acre feet of water. I'm not sure if this is Hogan's. This may be fun. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I have to look it up. I used to know it. I think Hogan's 250,000 acre feet. I think this is 500,000, not 1 million. And then New Malone's is 2.5 million acre feet. Man, this lake hasn't dropped much more. Got all the way up to that pipe and then dropped down a little bit, but hasn't dropped much since. Interesting. Got 1 or 2 people out there in the camp area. That was a viaduct I just went over. Coming up on a 40-mile-an-hour speed zone. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put gas in this thing. That little trip, it looks like I burned. What is that? Round trip's around 110 mile round trip. So the kind of fuel mileage I get with this truck. That's about 6 gallons of fuel. Already passed the first Lakeview Road. And all that wood construction, that's a beautiful home. Nice pioneer style look, but up here I would not use T111. I wouldn't use any wood on the outside. My place is stucco. Yes, a little more fire resistant. Down quivering, except for when you get gas.